Hey there guys, this is Basinger313 here with an extended thoughts of Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. And as you can tell from my Let's Play session thus far, I did not really relatively enjoy that game too much, and all the backlash I got was, well, actually fairly positive. I thought it was going to be worse though, but people understand why I pretty much disliked the game entirely. Eventually it took it a while where I suddenly get a message or a video request to watch a certain video called The Critical Close-Up of Metal Gear Solid 2 by Super Bunny Hop. And apparently it explains all the convoluted bullshit that's going on in Metal Gear Solid 2, and extensively too, and made it a lot more understandable than the game could ever really pull it off. And I pretty much have a different thought of Metal Gear Solid 2. Like, as much as I still hate the game as of now, I do at least understand its context and what it's going for, which is really good in my opinion, actually. I highly suggest you guys watch the video. I'll link it to the bottom of the description below. It's really, and to any Metal Gear Solid 2 haters, remember, this is coming from a guy that even watching the video, I still don't like that game. But I will say that its story and what it's going for, to strive for, it is really deep, and really it's definitely artistic. So yeah, I'm just gonna try and sum it up. Basically, the game was purposely trying to misinform you, thinking that this is gonna be the awesome build-up sequel to Metal Gear Solid 1, and awesomeness is gonna occur, so you're gonna play a Solid Snake. And again, by the way, this game is probably meant to be played when it actually came out on the PlayStation 2, and I think original Xbox as well. I'm not sure if Metal Gear Solid 2 was a multi-platform game. It was released for both PS2 and Xbox original. But I do know that it was meant to be played completely blindly, like have absolutely no way what's going to happen whatsoever. And I do know that Raiden exists, and I'm still gonna say Raiden, I don't give a shit. But I do know that he exists in the game, and already that kind of ruins, I guess, the surprise. But I do imagine that if I actually did play the game originally if I ever owned a PS2 when I was a kid, I would still hate the game a lot more, honestly. But if I do actually grow up and know the story, then I at least know the context of what's going on. And this game was purposely trying to misinform you into thinking you're going to play another Metal Gear Solid game, when in reality it's pretty much a completely different experience, even though it still has the plastered Metal Gear series on fold. Excuse me. So, basically what Kojima was trying to do is make a game purposefully bad to rely a message to the viewers, to the players who are playing the game. The constant messages of the kernel, the AI kernel, keep on saying, turn the game console off right now, stop playing this game. That's to invoke that basically you are kind of, I don't know, it's kind of confusing when you explain though. It's a lot more understandable once you watch the video that I just mentioned. It's really, really well deep detailed, and it's very easy to actually listen to, and you will easily understand, trust me. So yeah, again, I still really don't like the game. It's not fun to me. I thought, like, as a story, it really works. It really works, honestly. Like, ignoring the three main villains of the game and everything else, what really matters, what really is the core matter, is the fact that you know Raiden was supposed to be the representation of you, I guess, even though he has long hair, and obviously I don't have long hair and blonde hair or whatever, and I don't look that girly. But basically what it's trying to represent is you. Raiden is supposed to be representing you, the player, and as a person who admires Snake, Solid Snake, as a legendary mercenary hero. That is why you play as Raiden instead of Snake, which of course I completely understand now, thank God, because I was completely complaining about how you can't play as Solid Snake and such, or blah, 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 and how a video game is pretty much supposed to be a simulation, and this game pretty much talks about simulation almost extensively, and by the way, I'm not sure if this entire game is a simulation. I think only the plat parts are simulation, not the tanker. By the way, I finally understand what the difference between the tanker and the plat is. But basically, fuck, what was I about to say? So, hold on, let me try to remember all the shit I'm trying to remember. Basically, the game was trying to explain how much of a simulation really is, and this is one point that I actually didn't encounter and really notice that much, that Raiden would there's a reason why Raiden is completely naked instead of pantsless, much like in Shadow Moses Island, and it's because it's to reject the player's actions of a chokehold, which honestly I didn't really do much of that on the game, and doing a somersault, which is why I was kind of confused as to why I can't like chokehold him or anything, but it's because he was naked. And they covered that up pretty much perfectly well. And I believe, here's the thing, I believe, with the exception of the Metal Gear bosses, I still hate that, by the way. And again, like, if they made a codex saying that their weak point is the legs, then I would have easily understand it. And maybe they have, and I just didn't get it, or maybe, I don't know, I wasn't paying attention that much, though. But again, I'll talk about the Metal Gear Solid, the Metal Gear boss later, okay? But anyway, so as I was saying before, Raiden would constantly reject your actions and essentially remove your actions against your will, like the CQC. And apparently he sneezes a lot, which is why there's the medicine in order to help you not sneeze that much. And that's something I didn't really notice that much, honestly. And then we get to the Colonel trolling you and such with his whole go to outer heaven that's apparently appeared in Metal Gear 1 or Metal Gear 2. I don't know. I have not played those games. And I don't plan on playing those games, by the way. But, I don't know. If you guys really, really want me to play those games, I'll play it, maybe. I know it's on Metal Gear Solid 3 HD Collection, so I have access to those games now. Yay! But, as I was saying before, Raiden would pretty much constantly reject your... no, way past that. Colonel would pretty much constantly troll you over and over and over and over again with constant randomness, and that's to invoke what's real and what's reality, which is basically the theme of the entire game, like, what's really real and what's reality. And there's also this one part where they talk about the internet, which pretty much flew over my head during the codec moment where Raiden was talking to the Colonel and Rosemary AI, which, by the way, Rosemary, if Rosemary is a real person, that is pretty much completely under speculation, if you consider Metal Gear Solid 2 canon. Because here's the thing, there is absolutely no canon game whatsoever. The only canon game that you know that pretty much exists is Metal Gear, to my knowledge, is Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear 1, Metal Gear 2, and Metal Gear Solid 3. Anything that includes Raiden is automatically not canon, apparently. So, Metal Gear Solid 2, is it canon or not, that's up to your interpretation or whatever. Metal Gear Solid 4, is that canon? That, again, is up to your interpretation. Hell, even Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, which, again, honestly, I didn't think it was canon or whatever. I thought it was more of a spin-off game, but whatever. Is that canon or not? That is pretty much entirely questionable. So, because of this game, anything that involves pretty much Raiden, which also, that probably, to a certain extent, kind of is Metal Gear Solid 3 canon. That's, I don't know. Oh my god, this game is so confusing as fuck, and it's even making me question about the next entries of Metal Gear Solid games. Oh man, that's how much confusion I have with this game, is because of constant questions and answers that are not being answered. It's like, what the fuck's going on, Kojima? Why are you telling us this? And that's because he purposely tried to make it confusing as fuck in order for the players to really try and interpret what he's really saying. And to a certain extent, maybe he's not actually saying this. It's just fan speculation at all, and this is just what we're trying to essentially convert as to what he really is saying, and that is definitely a huge work of art. I have to say, like, Metal Gear Solid 2, as much as I don't really like that game, I will say it is definitely high art class. Oh shit, what's going on there? I don't know what happened. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically my extended thoughts on Metal Gear Solid 2. As much as I still don't really like that game because it wasn't really that fun as a gameplay standard. Oh shit, I haven't actually talked about the bosses yet. There was one boss I enjoyed, which was Fat Man, but all the other bosses, eh. I mean, especially the Metal Gear bosses, where it was like, again, this is, I think maybe it would have been a lot more easier if I shot the legs and then hit him with his head, but I don't know, I really didn't enjoy that game, that boss battle so much, and to my knowledge, they don't explain it. I mean, they do. They might. I don't know, but they didn't really explain that. Especially with all the useful hints, like the fact that if the Metal Gear oozes blue breath, then it'll do massive damage. But anyway, so yeah, that's basically my interpretation of the game. It has a really deep and very interesting, convoluted as much. Even though it's convoluted as hell, it is it's a very well done story. Not counting what actually is a story, like the backstories behind like the villains, the what's it called? Tanker. The tanker missions, like what really happened or whatever. What is the thing that I still have a problem with the game is, of course, the gameplay. I know it's defaultly supposed to be bad, according to a lot of speculation I heard from not just the video itself, but from discussion forums, from everything. And I'm just trying to research the fuck out of what the hell's going on about here. And again, I still enjoy what the game was supposed to represent, and it was a very, very good way. Like, the way the game was pretty much promoted, it's supposed to be the super sequel to Metal Gear Solid 1, which of course it wasn't, because Raiden was never, ever mentioned whatsoever during production products and marketing for the game. He was supposed to be, like, completely alienated from the game until at least release dates. And that's pretty much catching the fans to constant surprisement, and that is why it had the negative reception from the Metal Gear Solid fan base, and kind of splits the Metal Gear Solid fan base to like half and half. There's the Metal Gear Solid fans who enjoy Metal Gear Solid 2 as canon, and there are the others who say it's irrelevant, or at least to a certain extent it's irrelevant. Ooh, excuse me. And I think I might be in the part where it is irrelevant. Honestly, like, it's all, like, I seriously don't like how convoluted it is, and yeah, I'm just gonna say it's not canon. But, again, I still understand what's going on, and I think it is a very well done trickery, whatever Kojima and his teammates, developed the game for. I still don't like the game because it wasn't that fun. As a gameplay perspective, it wasn't really that fun. I will say it's innovative, though, because even though I played Twin Snakes and that kind of ruined the flaw, I will say that if I did play Metal Gear Solid 1, the original, on the PlayStation, then it would have been a huge improvement. But as of now, I feel like it's dated, and maybe at the time it was really innovative as well. Who knows? But the story and the confusion that the game presents itself to its fan base, it's just, So that's my final take on Metal Gear Solid 2. I still don't like it, but I do understand where it's going for, and it is incredible. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. I don't completely hate it as much as I did when I first played through it. I still hate it slightly, but it's definitely... If you have the chance to play through the game, just remember to... Actually, no, I don't really like... I don't know. I think when you play the game, I want you to be kind of spoiled before playing the game. Like, understand its backstory and play through and watch out descriptions and such. Like, this is one of the only games in which I think being spoiled is actually pretty much being necessary to enjoy the game. Because you have to understand why Raiden is revealed in a certain manner. You have to understand why the game was apparently terrible in the first place. You have to understand what the fuck the story is going on, and then play the game for yourself, and then have your interpretation on it. This is the only game that really... You need a guide in order to understand what the fuck's going on. At least that's what my interpretation is. It definitely is a work of art. It's just not fun, is what I'm saying. So, anyway, I should end this video right now. It's going as long as it really is. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you understand my situation here. Metal Gear Solid 3, which, by the way, don't worry about that game. I'm actually enjoying it. So, don't worry. This won't be a next Kingdom Hearts or whatever. I am enjoying Metal Gear Solid 3, so I'll just say that much. So, yeah, and that will be uploaded around November or something. And maybe next week, maybe next 2 weeks, who knows. Anyway, so this is basically signing off, and thanks for watching, guys.